everyone. How are you guys? I hope you've had a fabulous 2 weeks. I just had my clinical orientation day today from 8 till about 3:30, and I just wanted to share with you guys what I did today. I'm going to be sharing with you my syllabus for Med-Surg 3 as well as my syllabus for my leadership class. So let's just jump right in. Today was our clinical orientation day, and so basically it was like a big long lecture from 8 to 3:30. We did obviously get breaks periodically, as well as a 45-minute lunch break, so it wasn't completely dreadful. Today we went over dysrhythmias, which we had touched on back in Med-Surg 2 and even Med-Surg 1 a little bit, but this was kind of more in depth, and we did a lot of practice EKG strips. So we went over that. Speaking of EKG strips, I will show you. She had us print out like a packet of various dysrhythmias, as well as we had, well, this was an optional book, but I chose to get it. I always get our optional books. I don't always use them, but I think it's better safe than sorry. So I've been looking through this ECG workout book, and it's actually fabulous. It's nothing but practice strips, which is like awesome. And it tells you what the different arrhythmias are and what to look for. So this is an awesome book. It's ECG Workout Exercises and Arrhythmia Interpretation by Jane Huff. So well worth the price. I want to say I threw away my receipt. I was going to tell you exact prices, but I'm not a receipt keeper. So I think this one, I want to say, was around $60 to $100. I know that's like a big jump, but I can't remember, to be honest with you. So this one, so we did a bunch of practice strips like that, as well as going over what to look for in each arrhythmia. Then the second half of our day was spent on ventilation, looking at different types of ventilators. We didn't get any hands-on practice today. We just got lectured on it. So we went over controlled ventilation, assist controlled, what are the other ones? There was a paper. Assist controlled, synchronized intermittent, mandatory ventilation. And then we went over PEEP, which is that positive and expiratory pressure. So we went over that, and she actually gave us a really, really neat video on PEEP from YouTube. So I'm going to try and link that down below because it was so beneficial to actually see what the PEEP does. And if you're not familiar with PEEP, it basically, so when you're on a ventilator, your alveoli in the bottom of your lungs, they can actually collapse. And so they're not getting that good air exchange. But what PEEP does, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, like a valve or something that's added to the ventilation system that gives that alveoli an extra little push at the end to get more gas exchange. But I'll try and link that video down below because it was so beneficial to actually see what it does. So that was our second half of our day today. Now tomorrow I have simulation, and what simulation is we go into this room and we have our mannequins there, the high-tech mannequins that talk and urinate and have vitals and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure you're familiar with those. So we're going to go into a room with like a, what are those things called? A one-way glass where our instructors sit on one side, and we're in this room and we basically have to do patient care based on whatever is thrown at us. So tomorrow we are doing a simulation. I go from 8 in the morning to 9 in the morning for hemodynamics and ventilation. And then from 9 to 10, I'm doing telemetry. Now, I do know for my telemetry patient, I will have a gentleman who's had an acute MI, and we kind of have to deal with that. So that's always exciting. I love simulation. It's not graded. It's basically just a learning experience, which is it's invaluable to our learning, and I just love it. So that's tomorrow. My Med-Surg 3 syllabus. Now, the good thing that happened this semester, which was like amazing, is that for our clinical orientation today, we had to do all of the reading for what's required on our first exam. Does that make sense? I hope I said that right. So the chapters that we had to read for today's lecture is all the reading that we'd have to know for our first exam. So I am completely done with my readings up until September 14th when my first exam is. That is such a stress reliever knowing it's done and out of the way. Now, of course, I'm going to have to refer back when I'm studying and probably reread a little bit, but the fact that that's done is such a stress reliever. So I'm really, really, really happy that they did it that way. And the reason they did that is because some of us are being thrown into clinicals this weekend, which I am. I'm going to the ICU Saturday and Sunday. So they wanted us to have as much knowledge going into that as we could. Now, if we weren't starting clinicals until 3 or 4 weeks from now, I doubt they would have set it up this way. But I'm kind of glad that they did because it works to our benefit. So on my first exam, this is what's covered in my Med-Surg class. Now remember, I still have that leadership portion, which I'll go over in a minute. But for my first Med-Surg exam, we're going to have to know dysrhythmias, myocardial infarction, and hemodynamic monitoring, and critical care environment. I guess just knowing the environment and what to do and how to use the equipment. So that's not bad. I honestly went into Med-Surg 3 thinking, oh my God, this is going to be like a bear of a semester. But the reading wasn't bad. And based on just my syllabus, it doesn't look that bad either. So dysrhythmias, myocardial infarction, hemodynamic monitoring, and critical care environment. That's exam 1 for Med-Surg. Now, my leadership class, we don't have exams or anything, but I kind of wanted, because I know there's been some question about what the heck is a leadership class, so I'm just going to skim through or tell you the 15 different topics that we will cover. So class 1, we're doing a course review. Who cares about that? Class 2, we'll do leadership and delegation. Speaking of delegation, this was another optional book, but also invaluable when it comes to the NCLEX. I've heard several people say, rather than getting a Saunders NCLEX book or anything else, if they were only to get one book to study for the NCLEX, it would be this bad boy right here. Prioritization, delegation, and management of care. This is by Ray Hargrove Huddle and Catherine Colgrove. Yeah. So this one, I want to say, you guys are going to hate me. I don't remember. So I'm going to say $60 just to, might be more, might be, don't think it's less. But, so that's this one. So I've actually looked through here, and I was surprised because I just flipped to random pages because I really haven't like dove deep into this yet, but just randomly I would open a page and skim through like 5 questions, and I'm getting a lot of them right, which is good, but then I'm thinking, oh my Lord, what if this is like too easy and I bomb my NCLEX? Who knows? But I've heard great things about it, so I suggest getting this one. So, leadership and delegation. My third class in leadership will be employment strategies and resume writing. So this is awesome because this class basically helps us to write not an essay, good Lord, a resume, and our instructors go over it and make sure it looks presentable for what a nursing employment agency hospital are looking for when they're hiring new nurses. So that's great. Class number 4 is ATI and PassPoint review. So we had to purchase, if I can find it, this. This is the NCLEX RN Passpoint by Lippincott. This is like Prep U. We use, I don't know if every nursing school uses this, but we use the Point online DocuCare. That's how we do our documentation online. Instead of using the hospital's in-house system, we use DocuCare. So this is along those same lines. And this was expensive for this little, let me show you what it is inside. You get an access code. This little card looks like this. Comes with an access code on it. $221 for that. Hope it's worth it. But Passpoint. So I guess we'll be going through that in class 4. Class 5, legal issues in nursing. Most hated topic ever. So boring. Maintaining safe environment. I'm not going to list the classes because this is already an 11-minute video. Legal issues in nursing. Maintaining a safe environment. Disruptive workplace behavior. NCLEX and licensure. Ethical dilemmas. QI. Performance appraisal and peer review. Professionalism and the contemporary image of nursing. And then again, we're doing ATI and Passpoint. Transition from student to professional nurse, professional boundaries, case management. And then our last day in leadership, we have an NCLEX simulation. They haven't told us too much about it, but it's a 4.5-hour thing. And basically, we're taking a mock NCLEX. And I think ATI runs that. So they're going to scan us in just like we would the normal NCLEX and walk us through every step of the way. And we're actually taking it could take up to 4.5 hours, but a test that simulates the NCLEX. And at the end of it, it'll print out a score and it'll tell us you are ready. If you took the NCLEX right now, you would pass with flying colors. It would say, oh, you're just on the level of passing the NCLEX, maybe study a little bit more, or hey, sister, you need to buckle down and study because you ain't passing. So, that's that. So I just wanted to touch base with you guys, fill you in on clinical orientation, my simulation day tomorrow, and then as well as what my Med-Surg 1 is looking like and leadership is looking like. So I'm going to update you guys throughout the process. And as always, click the subscribe button and leave a comment down below. See you guys.